Isaiah 61, where this was what Jesus, when he announced his ministry, he read from Isaiah 61, and the prophet was basically prophesying what Jesus and the ministry was. Part of it was healing the brokenhearted, and some of the translators, they translate the two Hebrew words that were used into one and say brokenhearted, but really it's two Hebrew words that mean the shattered heart. So I see those pieces that you're talking about, just broken pieces of a shattered heart. So what happens when we experience that trauma is that we have an unresolved episode or event or series of events in our life. And in the case of the little t trauma that you talked about and not getting our needs met, maybe it's at the end of some of those developmental stages that we talked about or whatever it is. But there's these pieces of unresolved past, if you will. That's what's coming up, and you kind of embody that and talk about it. It's not multiple personality or anything like that, but it's just this idea that we have these unresolved places. John Eldridge calls them as just these young places inside of ourselves that come up, these young places. And what happens with the avoidant when we don't want to deal with it, we shut those places off, shut them out, and push them away. And it's kind of like when your child falls off their bike and skins their knee, you're not going to, well, most parents would not say, get up, shut up, stop crying. Yeah, some did that, right? Yeah, I understand. But the proper way to handle it would be to pick your child up and love on them and put band-aids on them, right? And so that's what Jesus is talking about, bandaging the shattered heart, healing the shattered heart. And that should be our approach to those places inside of ourselves too, instead of saying like the abusive parents. So we're kind of abusive parents to those young places inside of ourselves. In our own hearts, saying, get up, stop crying, shut up, like push it away. Try to avoid dealing with it, and we need to take a different approach. And I don't want that young place to come up and hijack things and behave in immature ways. The idea is the more that we push it away and are abusive in so many ways to those young places inside of ourselves, the more it just causes more problems, right?
Yeah.